Hello there, everyone. My name is Alec Fiducia, and today I'll be talking about a brief breakdown of the instances of assistive and instructional technology in the Indian film Tare Zameen Par, as well as a little bit of information regarding the two types of technology. So, to start, assistive technology, or AT as it is often shortened to, is considered to be any item, device, or piece of equipment that is used to maintain or improve the functioning capabilities of individuals with disabilities, which would allow them to be more independent in their education or daily life. AT is broken down into three tiers by complexity of usage. Those three tiers are low tech, which are devices that are usually readily available, inexpensive, such as page holders or safety scissors; mid-tech, which are devices that are usually digital and require batteries, such as a calculator or an audiobook; and high-tech, which are devices that are typically computer-based, likely to be a little bit more sophisticated, such as a tablet or a screen reader. Instructional technology, or IT, is used more in the practical delivery of instruction. It focuses more on using technology as part of the teaching process, and educators are more likely to be using them. Herein lies the main difference between the two technologies. IT is used as a way of providing learning opportunities to the students, whereas AT is used as a way of allowing the students access to learning. In other words, teachers are going to use IT to provide the lesson to the students, and students may use AT for extra help with understanding the lesson. So a lesson may be using both at the same time, but they're essentially typically individual tools in the classroom. Sometimes, however, a basic tool like a calculator may serve as both IT and AT, but they don't always overlap. So in the movie Tare Zameen Par, the main character, a young boy named Ishan, struggles with an unknown condition that most of his peers and teachers dismiss as him being disobedient or naughty. Therefore, we do not see a whole lot of assistive technology being used to help Ishan with his learning problems, especially in the first half of the film. We see him in his reading class during a lesson where he has to read a sentence and identify adjectives from his workbook. He's unable to, despite the teacher's constant persistence. In response, Ishan acts immaturely, resulting in the kids in the class erupting in laughter, and he is then sent from the classroom. Later, the class is given a surprise test, this time in math, and they have to do so without the use of a calculator. As expected, Ishan fails, barely answering one question while lost mostly in his imagination using numbers from his test. If anything, the instructional technology in these scenes is in the workbook used for identifying adjectives. General school from the start of the film doesn't really seem to have much in terms of more advanced IT services that I could tell, unfortunately. After being sent to the boarding school, things don't really get any better for Ishan. Teachers are much more strict with him than at the public school. Ishan is physically punished for making mistakes, such as in his art class when his teacher rapped his knuckles for not paying attention. There is still no assistive technology present, and the instructional technology used is still relatively basic. His English classwork was presented using a poem booklet. The art class was using sketchbooks without rulers or colored pencils, and the reading class had a lot of definitions on the chalkboard. Finally, a temporary teacher filling in for the art class, going by the name of Mr. Nikum, introduces Ishan to alternative ways of learning. It starts with Nikum encouraging the students to build an art project using sticks and other foreign objects to create the project. This could potentially be considered as low-tech AT, since the materials are pretty much readily available and simple and inexpensive. After Nikum gets approval from the principal to teach Ishan extra hours during the week, we see that Mr. Nikum has Ishan writing out letters using a sandpit, paint, and clay, which helps Ishan visualize the letters individually. Once again, this would be considered to be low-tech AT support. Nikum teaches numbers to Ishan by having Ishan write the number 8 on a giant grid. The grid he writes on becomes smaller and smaller to write the number in as Ishan progresses. This is another low-tech AT example. The last time we see Ishan using AT is when he's going through his reading lessons. He starts off by using a cassette player that reads the words on the page to him, and Ishan uses a headset to listen to the speaker as he repeats what is said. This could be considered as mid-tech AT. He's also playing a computer game that looks like it requires him to choose the right letters in order to continue successfully playing the game. I'd say this would be high-tech AT since he's using computer-based assistance. So to wrap up here quickly, we've discussed the key difference between instructional technology and assistive technology. IT exists as a way to provide a lesson to the class, while AT helps students to access the information being provided. The film didn't really show significant IT examples, but the reading classes could have included ways to implement reading through IT using a smart board and utilizing applications such as Google Docs or Google Slides so that reading comprehension could be made easier. In Sean's math class, the pop tests that they used could have been turned into some sort of online quiz instead of one that was on paper. This would have been a good IT substitute there. For the writing courses, some sort of interactive online resource could be made when trying to break down a sentence into individual segments that could teach the kids how to interpret such things. These are just a few ways that IT accommodations could be implemented, and AT was depicted in ways that could be beneficial for students, even those who may have given up on themselves, like Ishan did at one point. Doing what we can before kids ever come close to this kind of mental state should be a priority at all times. Trying to be a little more like Mr. Nikum could certainly help. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I was able to provide some helpful information for you all here. Goodbye for now.